All right, Chapter 7 in your textbook is going to cover the control of microbes. And in terms of this unit, all right, there's nothing hugely groundbreaking. I don't have a whole lot of videos for this particular segment because I think your textbook is really kind of straightforward. There are some things that I want you to understand as far as the control of microbes go, because this is going to become very important for you as a future healthcare provider, because you want to know what types of chemicals are going to kill the bacteria, what are going to inhibit their growth, and how they work and how those are classified. So in terms of microbes, we've got two basic kind of overall classifications for what we can use to control microbial growth. We've got things that are disinfectants. All right, disinfectants tend to kill the bacteria. So in terms of that, when we talk about killing bacteria, we're talking about an agent that is bactericidal. Okay, so bactericidal, the side at the end of that term refers to killing. Okay, disinfectants are things like bleach, Lysol. All right. And in terms of disinfectants, these are chemicals that we would use on objects. We wouldn't use those on people, all right? Antiseptics kind of inhibit the growth of bacteria, all right? So, goodness. Things like mouthwash, hydrogen peroxide, iodine, those are things that you would put on and can use on a living organism, all right? Iodine very often is an antiseptic that's used before surgeries. The surgeon or the assistant will scrub the area to reduce the number of bacteria, all right? So in terms of that, with antiseptics, you will reduce the number of bacteria. You're typically not going to kill everything off, though. And the big thing with the antiseptics, this can go on living tissue, all right? And that's an important distinction between something that's a disinfectant and an antiseptic. An antiseptic tends to be what we call bactericidal, or not bactericidal, bacteriostatic. Static meaning it kind of inhibits the growth. The bactericidal goes with the disinfectants. Antiseptics, bacteriostatic, all right? And typically, how you are inhibiting growth, it's going to target things like the bacterial cell wall, the plasma membrane, all right? And in terms of that, things like soaps with detergents are great at breaking up plasma membranes. So those very often detergents, that's what it's ending up disrupting with the bacteria, is going to be the plasma membrane, all right? Other things that can be interfered with, protein synthesis. This is going to be more likely to be associated with something that's a disinfectant, although it doesn't have to be. But if you're interfering with protein synthesis, that's kind of a bigger process. So in terms of that, you don't want to inhibit protein synthesis in your cells. But if you have something that targets bacterial cells individually, that's a way to help control bacterial growth, all right? The other way to interfere with it is going to be in how the protein functions, all right? Typically what we're talking about here, whatever that reagent is or that chemical that you're using, it ends up denaturing the protein. So if you denature the protein, it falls apart, doesn't work. That's going to inhibit growth, all right? I should also put under here with protein synthesis. It can also interfere with nucleic acid synthesis. So in terms of nucleic acid synthesis, we're talking about inhibiting the process of mitosis for those bacterial cells. All right. So in terms of that, that's kind of how you're inhibiting. I'm going to have a short video next just kind of on some of the different types of methods you may encounter for types of disinfectants and antiseptics. Really review your book, kind of put things into lists. Can be kind of fun if you want to go around your house and look at what you have in your cupboards. Look at what you've got that's antiseptics. Look what you have that's disinfectants. All right. If you have any questions, please